It's not always fun and games for first responders.
05 Central, you show me in pursuit.
But sometimes it is.
Oh my God, he's not wearing pants again.
Sometimes it's dangerous.
Flipping around, look out, look out, look out.
Sometimes it's not.
Antler Boulevard for a snake in a house.
And sometimes it's just plain stupid.
Chihuahua in his lap on a lawnmower.
This is the stupid side of first response.
Dispatch, do I really have to go to that?
This is Code 0.5.
Come in 0.5.
Hey guys, it's Jason again, along with my co-host Rich in Victory Brand Studios, and this is going to be our last episode ever. I found out today that Rich is a Chevy guy and I'm a Ford guy, and this shit just ain't going to work out anymore.
You just mad because you got roasted.
Anyway, my wife's talking about getting a new car, and Rich decided that he needed to put in his 2 cents.
Oh, yeah.
And despite popular belief, Fords do not have heated tailgates.
Oh, yeah. Well, not anymore because they were burning the truck down because of prolonged use.
So, yeah, this is going to be our last episode because I hate Rich now because he's a Chevy guy.
Yeah. He called me a bastard first thing when he walked in. And he said he was going to fight me. So I may have to contact 33 and get a EPO and
You do that.
go through all that.
Trust me, I won't violate it, and I never want to see your ass again.
Oh, you will.
Man, and we're starting recording this, and I'm always paranoid at the beginning of the episodes because I'm like, okay, is the camera on right? Is it recording? Do I have that on? Am I recording?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here like looking around, and I'm racking my brain. So I'm like,
Which button did you forget to push?
yeah. Watch, we'll go through the whole episode, and your ass will be muted the whole time.
Oh,
Look
probably.
like I'm talking to nobody, and but yeah. So I guess we're gonna be new car shopping.
Yes. Actually, no, that sucks.
Yes, it does suck.
Yeah. I remember our experience with that. I believe Holly had a migraine. She went in there in like sweatpants and a hoodie with her hood on and aviator sunglasses with I call it her Unabomber fit. And yeah, she was not having it. She was giving that dude the what for. He's like, can you do he's like, can you do $1,000 down? No, I have this car. You're taking it. Well, what about 8? No, take the car. Well, could you do 5? No, you have my car. And then eventually she got it down to like some stupid amount of money or something.
Yeah.
And he took the car.
Do you know I used to sell cars?
And you've done a lot of different things. You have a very diverse background.
There's a dealership that I used to work for that I felt like guilty because of the way they teach you to treat the customers and to like basically to screw with their mind and stuff to get them to stop thinking about how much they're paying for the car and get them locked on something else. And I left that dealership because I felt like I was lying to people and just screwing them over. And so I left and went somewhere else.
See, and that's handy though, because like when you guys do go, you'll recognize the bullshit. You know what I mean? You'll be like, no.
Yeah.
Dude.
And it was cool because like when I first started doing it, they would send, and I sold Fords.
Of course.
So, and what I'm telling you doesn't reflect on Ford. It reflects on this dealership that I worked at. But you have to get like your certifications or whatever, and you have to learn everything about the vehicles, and then they'll send you off for training for them. And it's pretty cool. So you learn everything about them.
Really?
And, yeah, because I mean, when you get into it and you're like demoing it for the customer, I mean, you want to know what you're talking about. And, man, those rules and stuff that they had, and they said, basically they told you to be deceitful to them. And I'm like,
wow,
I can't do it.
That's crazy.
So, and then the other thing is like you go in there and you try to get them to buy on whatever, and then you you go back in to the sales manager, then you go back out again and try him to get this. And then it's like on the fourth try or whatever, then you get your sales manager to come in and then he talks to him. And I couldn't do that. I'd go in there and like they teach you this certain way to like get people to be like, oh, what the hell? You know, I would walk in there and I'd sit down with them and be like, y'all need something to drink or anything? And they're like, well, no. And I'm like, well, here at where I'm working, we play this game with people and I hate doing it to y'all and I hate doing it, period. So we're just going to sit here and shoot the bull for a minute. Then I'm going to go in there and I'm going to tell them, hey, man, they're really sticklers on this. They're hard on that. I can't get the, and then we'll finally get to the real numbers. I'm like, I'm sorry we're playing this stupid game with you, but because it was like, if you did it how they wanted you to do it, man, you'd keep the customer there for like 4 or 5 hours.
That's the suck part. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
We were there forever.
And then I left and went to this other dealership and they give you the price of the vehicles and they're like, just sell them.
Okay. That should be.
And you get in there, you get them in and out, hour and a half, I'd have them done.
It shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah. And I was like, man, why at that other place do you have to screw so hardcore with them? Just sell them the damn car.
Yeah. I would think that the financing part, unless somebody already had it cleared, you know what I mean? I think that would probably be the longest part, or give or take would be the longest part of everything. Cause
yeah. Oh, and if you come in there and you've got your own financing, they hate that.
Really?
Because like, okay, I worked at a Ford dealership. When we sold the car, especially if it was a brand new one, we didn't make anything on money as like on the vehicles. You don't make jack shit.
Wow.
But when you go in there and you finance through us, that's where they make their money.
Really?
Yeah. So like, you know, I'm thinking like selling used cars, I made more money selling used cars than I did new ones. But, man, I don't know. So you did IT. Yeah.
You did, back in the day, you did like HVAC and plumbing. Then you went to IT.
Well, more plumbing than HVAC. Dad was kind of getting out of that. And then I was mainly plumbing.
And then you did, the car salesman thing. And now you do what you do now.
Yeah.
Mine's fairly boring. Yeah. I just did HVAC.
Mine's boring too.
You got a lot more. You're more computer savvy though.
Not anymore. Man, that shit changes so much. I mean, I get out of it for a little while and Windows has changed so much and I look at it and it's foreign to me now. And then at that time I transitioned over. I hate Windows stuff. I'd rather work with Apple stuff.
Oh yeah. Apple's where it's at.
Apple is more expensive up front, but it's kind of like I compared buying vehicles and same thing with computers. You buy an Apple or a Ford, they're more expensive up front, but it's lower cost of ownership. Windows and Chevy is cheaper up front, but it's more expensive cost of ownership.
Oh, really? That's what we're doing now? That's where we're going with it?
Oh, and when I first started selling cars, if somebody came in and they were driving a Dodge product, any Dodge, it doesn't matter whether it's a truck, an SUV, car, it doesn't matter what it is. I was like, why are these salesmen running whenever someone comes in? And then I found out whenever, say you go in and buy a Ram pickup and you pay $25,000 for it, it depreciates a shit ton faster than any other car manufacturer.
Dodge does?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because they're cheaply made.
Really?
They're junk. Yeah. Like if you come in any other product, you might not be upside down. Or if you are, it's just a little bit. If you buy a Ram and then come in and you're like, I'm wanting to trade this in for a Chevy, we'll go look at it and drive it and be like, yeah, we can give you $12,000 for this. And then the guy will be like, whoa, I owe 24 on it. And, well, they're cheaply made. You don't make any money off of them.
Really?
And like, I talked to a guy that was a salesman and sold Dodge stuff. And he was like, whenever they sold new, he told me they made a lot of money off of it. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, especially if we can get them to buy it at MSRP or whatever. But he said the markup on the product, he said, is a shitload more. And I would look at it like if we went and bought an F-150, like the dealership would make like, and this is a ballpark, like $2,000 off of it, which that's not a big markup or anything. If you sold a Ram pickup, the dealership would make like 10 grand off of it.
Wow.
Because the markup is so damn high.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, because those guys would make a lot of money on their commissions. And I'm like, why? How can y'all make so much? And then I found out it's because there's a huge markup on them because they make them as cheap as possible.
Wow.
And then like my unit that I work with, I've had that thing. It was brand new in 2020 and there's a recall on it. I can't remember what it was for. Something about the tailgate. Like it'll just drop open for no reason. And then, I mean, we bought a bunch of them, and a lot of them, they've had to get the exhaust manifold replaced because they break. I mean, mine's been in the shop to get worked on 3 times, and mine's the lowest amount.
Wow.
And like that Ford that I drive, never get oil change. That's it.
They must be using a better grade of duct tape than they used to.
All right. We'll get off the vehicle stuff. We can talk about our other things because I heard you had a pretty interesting situation.
Oh, yeah. So I was at the PD, and we're looking at trying to do a little, I wouldn't say really an add-on, but trying to make it a little bit bigger so we have a bigger evidence area and also a room for like, meetings and questioning and stuff like that. And so I'm out back, and I was taking some measurements because there's some concrete that's got to get poured. And one of our local pastors, he comes, he like beelined in, and he jumps out, and he like runs over to one of the public works people, and he's like, James, I need you to come with me.
He runs him over.
He didn't run him over. He runs up to him. And he's like, James, I need you to come with me. I got somebody in my house. I can't get him out. And, I'm hearing this, and I kind of look up, and I'm like, what's going on? And James, and then they start jumping in the truck. Well, our other public works guy, Heath's like, did you hear all that? There's somebody in his house or something. And I'm like, yeah. All right, what's going on? And he's like, I don't know. I guess we're going over there. I was like, all right. So I go from the back of the PD to the front of the PD, jump in my unit, and like this, pastor's humming. You know what I mean? He's trying to get back to his house in a hurry. So I'm like, what is going on? Is it like a lift assist, or is it like, does he really have somebody in his house? Like, why wouldn't he call 911? Like, you know what I mean? So I've got all these things going in my head. Well, we all pull up, and I jump out of my car, and I start to head to the door. And I was like, snap, I need my body cam and all that. So I run back, and I grab my carrier, and the pastor's coming out of his front door, and he's like, y'all, he's in there. James, he's in here. I told you. He's like, I told you 6 times you need to get out of this house now. And James starts going into the front door. And so I'm, by this time, running to the front door. And James comes out, and he's got this freaking dummy. I stopped, and I just looked at him, and I was like, really? Seriously? And then the pastor looked over, and he seen me, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I was just trying to mess with him. And I was like, oh no, you had me thinking I was fixing to go to work. Now I was ready to go.
He told some other guy, and you just overheard the conversation, and like, oh shit, man, somebody needs some help.
Yeah. I was like, why wouldn't he come in there? I was like, I guess maybe it's the guys. If the guy's in his house, he may be rummaging through something. He's just trying to get somebody there quick. I don't know, man, but yeah, I got over there, and I was like throwing my vest on and running towards the front door. And here comes James with this big old, like a self-defense dummy comes carrying it out. And all the time, that pastor's hollering, see, I told you I was coming to get somebody, get you out of here. Then I was like, no. And then he seen me over there, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, why? Why? I was like, hell, I didn't know what you had going on, man.
It's just a dummy.
Blood was all pumping.
Do what?
My blood was all pumping. I was like, shoot, here we go.
I showed up over there, and he was telling me the story, and I'm just kind of grinning. I was like, you better knock it off, man. You keep crying wolf like this, and then nobody will come help you. And he's like, well, I thought you had to cry wolf at least 3 times. He goes, this is my first one.
Yeah, it is. I told him right there, I was like, you just made the podcast, right? And he's like, well, I didn't try and make nobody mad. I was like, no, you made me look like a dumbass. So I got to tell off on myself.
He's going to be listening just to hear this episode.
Oh, yeah. He laughed about that. Oh, he laughed about that. He's still laughing about that, I think.
Well, and after it happened, he goes, one thing about it, I gave those guys something to talk about the rest of the day.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, yeah, he provided their entertainment for the day.
Jeez, man.
Mine too.
But, I mean, if you'd have seen him when he came up there, you thought something was wrong. That's all I was like, what is going on? Why wouldn't he call 911?
So he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're thinking, why wouldn't he call 911? And then you're thinking, and then on the other hand, you're like, well, most people just don't call 911 when there's something serious going on.
Yeah, and I mean, like in our town too, we're smaller, so I mean, people will like literally call us. They won't even call 911. They just bypass dispatch and they like start calling us.
Yeah,
I'm like, no. You need to call 911. We'll start that way, or you know what I mean. We're heading that way, but you've got to call 911. And it'll be, man, you can't go anywhere. I remember one time I wasn't trying to go anywhere because I was afraid something like that was going to happen. Somebody was going to report something. And so I take Holly to the dollar store and I sit in the car and I'm in there vibing to my Juice World, minding my own business. And somebody walks up and they knock on my window and I'm like, this isn't going to be good. Like a dumbass, I roll the window down and then they start telling me about it. And I'm like, I got to go to work. She got in the car. I was like, see why I told you I never want to go anywhere? I don't want to be out nowhere because this happens. I'm just trying to be a civilian, just trying to mind my own business. And then people tell me things and I got to go to work. I was like, now I got to go to work.
Just call Renix.
Thank you. I think he was busy with the kids that weekend.
Oh.
So there was no calling Renix.
It'd take him an hour or so to respond anyway.
No. Especially if it's exfoliation day. Yeah, if he's manscaping, he's tied up. Because he does what does he use? Some kind of Caress body wash. And then he does something with a sugar scrub.
What?
Yeah. And I only know this.
Are you joking or are you being serious?
No, I'm serious. I only know this because he's having an issue, like his toilet runs intermittently. I guess the little flapper thing is messed up. And he was talking to me about it. And so I went over there to go look. And he's got several stage process. Oh, I actually got some pictures of him getting his last pedicure.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had and then he got some kind of little frou-frou drink. He's sitting there with his freaking little glass of wine getting his toes done. And then they went to dinner. And then I got another picture of him with some girly looking drink. I was like, man, I'll have to show you. Hang on. We need to throw that on the thing over here.
I think you text that to me.
Oh, yeah, here it is. And then the caption underneath it was Pretty Little Princess drinking his Pretty Little Princess drink.
We'll have more coming up on Code 0.5.
If you're looking for a political podcast that goes beyond the headlines, check out the Beltway Briefing. I'm Howard Schweitzer, CEO of Cozen O'Connor Public Strategies. Every week on the Beltway Briefing, our team of former Republican and Democratic presidential appointees, Capitol Hill veterans, and political advocates shares behind-the-scenes perspective that cuts through the noise. If you want the inside scoop, subscribe now to the Beltway Briefing here or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, here. I'm not going to put it up on there. Matt, we need to get a smart TV so I can...
Just cast?
It's called AirPlay.
Oh.
Not Applecast. Even Renix argued with me about it.
Oh, he argues everything, though.
There you go.
There's his little pretty little drink. There's him getting his pedicure. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is great, man.
Oh, he looks so cute doing that.
He does.
I wonder who took the photo. Was his girlfriend with him?
Yeah. Yeah. She's a G.
Hey, now, have you ever tried it before?
Tried what?
Getting a pedicure?
No. No, I don't like anything touching my feet. People touching my feet.
You should try it.
I've like hurt my foot before and just not gone to the doctor because I didn't want nobody touching my foot.
I've got this uncle that, and I can't remember who he used to play for or I don't know what extent he was on the team, but he played in the NFL for a little while. So you can imagine this guy, he's like 6'5", and he's huge. He's big arms. I mean, he's just a big old, if you went, you were to see like a dang defensive tackle in the NFL and how big that guy would be, this is what he looks like.
So he's a corn-fed sumbitch. What you trying to tell me?
I was talking shit one day about some guy I know that goes and gets pedicures, and he looks over at me and he goes, "Hey," I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Don't knock it until you try it." I was like, "What's that mean?" And then his wife, she was like, "He goes like every other week and gets pedicures." And he goes, "That's right, I do."
No.
So I was like, okay, he's kind of manly, so maybe it's all right.
No.
Hey, I went and tried it, and whenever, like, whatever they're doing to your feet or whatever is okay, but when they get to, like, for a little while where they massage your calves and your feet, yeah, that's it.
No, I can't do people touching my feet, man.
You're missing out.
No, I am fine in my existence not having a person touch my feet.
And, after listening to what you had to say on their story, I got the title for this episode.
Oh, yeah?
Rich the Dummy.
Oh, great. How'd I know that was coming?
All right, we'll move on to our statute.
Oh, statute.
This one is going to be about something that I find annoying as hell.
Uh-huh.
Modified exhaust.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I get it. If you come rolling up and you've got like some, 68 Ford Mustang GT or, something, and you've got a little bit of exhaust on it for performance issue, I understand that. But when these guys go out and buy these brand new Chevy trucks that have the 8 cylinders, but then it cuts out to 4-cylinder on the highway and then it sounds stupid as hell. No. But the statute, once again, we're not attorneys and this ain't legal advice.
Nope.
Every vehicle shall be equipped, maintained, and operated so as to prevent excessive noise or unusual noise. Every motor vehicle shall at all times be equipped with a muffler or other effective noise suppression system in good working order and in constant operation. No person shall modify the exhaust system of a motor vehicle in any manner which will amplify or increase the noise or sound emitted louder than that admitted by the muffler originally installed on the vehicle. So when you put dual exhaust on your vehicle and it's louder, you can get pulled over for it.
So technically you can't get in trouble for modified exhaust because yours just fell apart, right?
Yeah, on the Ram.
Assembly, no, on your
the Ram
Ford out here.
Are we still going to do that?
The assembly line just had a bad day that day. So, is that technically, you can't get in trouble for that.
They got
right?
better duct tape, remember?
Not on that, though.
My Ford has that EcoBoost engine in it. And have you ever driven one before? Oh, dude, you should do it.
Well,
Chevy and Ram have announced that they're going to start doing the same thing that Ford did years ago, and they're turbocharging and putting smaller engines in their vehicles.
Yeah, I can imagine how yours sounds on the highway.
It's still got the manufacturer's exhaust system on it. But you'd be able to hear it quite well because whenever I hit the accelerator, I'd leave your ass behind me.
Doubtful.
No, you wouldn't hang.
Yeah, I'd hang.
No, you wouldn't.
But this sounds like a trip to the LEDT track.
Let's go, man. I'd put that truck against anybody.
Okay. All right. Make some phone calls.
So, yeah, you modify your exhaust and you can get stopped for it.
Unless you have a Ford and it has fallen apart from assembly line defects. That's a kind of an act of God. You can't control that. Well, you could have controlled that by not buying a Ford, but
Okay, we're off the vehicle stuff.
are we?
Yes.
But are we? Uh-oh.
What are you uh-ohing about?
Uh-oh.
I'm fixing to take my Ford and drive through your Tahoe out there.
Good luck.
All right, let's go to, what are we calling these? America's dumbest criminals or just the world's dumbest criminals?
I don't know if they're the world's.
This one's out of Texas.
Ooh.
I think you've talked about this before, and you're like, there's been some agency that's done this. Well, here's one that did it. Back in March 2016, the Granite Shoals Police Department in Texas issued a very special warning on its Facebook page that declared, if you have recently purchased meth or heroin in Central Texas, please take it to the local police or sheriff department so it can be screened with a special device. Do not use it until it has been properly checked for possible Ebola contamination.
Oh.
This message, of course, was a ruse. Regardless, concerned citizen, Chastity Hobson reportedly did her duty by bringing in her sample of an illegal substance to be examined.
Yes.
Hobson was promptly arrested and held on a $5,000 bond.
Well, you don't need that Ebola spreading around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's just a concerned citizen.
Exactly.
She's looking out for everyone else.
Exactly.
Except for herself.
Does it show her picture? Is she smiling?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's smiling.
Good God. I'll never understand people.
Nope. That's
The
why we
defense
do this.
attorney's going to hate that.
Oh, man. I got to remember. I took a call here recently, and I can't remember. Oh, that's going to be on our next episode. Okay. All right. We're getting out of here, y'all.
Later.
Thanks for listening.
You have been listening to Code 0.5, the lighter side of police work. If you have ideas or suggestions for our show, we'd love to hear from you. Visit our website at code05.co. That's code05.co. And please consider making a donation at our Patreon page, patreon.com/code05. Be sure to use the digits 05. Thanks for listening to Code 0.5.